If you're wondering what is the Blueprint Codex, let me show you. This is the homeroom page. This tells you a little bit about how everything is broken down. And then we have the homeroom over here, which includes the checklist. If you follow this checklist start to finish, you will have looked at, reviewed, and completed everything. The release schedule, because this is going to be a live course, I am going to be doing it with you for the first round. I'm going to be uploading videos of myself completing the same stuff that you will be completing. The first round that starts on 10/10, that will be the first class that's doing it with me. So this is the schedule for when each of those weeks are going to be released, because I'm not pre-recording them, is essentially what I'm getting at. Then we have a page on how to work with the Codex, essentially not rules but guidelines for how to not stress yourself out or overwhelm yourself and how to get the most out of it. Then we go to how to move through the Codex. This is the literal steps of like what you'll see each day and what you're supposed to be doing with it and about how much time it takes. Then there's a before we begin checklist. This is kind of to get in touch with yourself, see your starting point, and prepare for a journey that's going to be a bit emotional. So this is necessary to do this page before beginning. It's a good starting point to look back on later. Also, then we have the graduation project, which is something that you work on throughout the entire course. It's not something that you do at the end that you have to stress yourself out about taking a bunch of steps. It's essentially you put a little bit into it each week, and then by the end you have it. So that is what this page then goes on to explain. We have the links for the Blueprint books. You do not need to have the Blueprint to do this course. You do not need any of them. I suggest to have at least book 1 and book 2 in paperback to get the most out of the course. That is so that you can open to pages like an oracle and flip through the book. It's a lot different having it. You could also print it out, because I do include a copy of book 1. The PDF proof copy of book 1 is included in the course. So the foundational knowledge of the Blueprint you will have for this course either way, but I do suggest the paperback, but they're not necessary to have. And then there's also links for the journals. Then this page goes through, you can use the course as suggested, like a journal, like a paperback or hardback copy of a journal. Or I also go through how to do the same thing, but with audio or video. And then down here, we have all of the audio and video that's uploaded to the Codex is all put in one place on Dropbox. It's also scattered throughout the course, like where it's supposed to be included at, like the ones for lesson 1 are in lesson 1, but they're also all together in the Dropbox link as well. Books and journals that are included are the Faith Over Feelings, the Sacred Shadows, and the Blueprint, so you can find those there. Then we have tools for deeper decoding. This is something that students will add to their Codex or their journal, if you will, and just different logs, essentially. We also have this is a section all about different tools that you don't need to use, but they are available, such as like the weekly Codex page. You could put this in the Codex journal and check in weekly. You don't have to, but I do encourage everyone to take advantage of every piece because it all is included for a reason. Okay, so there's also like a debrief in there. There's like a playlist and Shufflemancy description of how to add that in if you would like to your course as well. We also have an audio library. This is kind of like the Dropbox where all of the audio is in one place and then all the video is in one place. But this is essentially, as I upload them, they all go here and they also go in their section. It'll always say how long it is. It'll have a description of what it is, and then any supporting materials as well. Same thing for videos, which there's none in there yet, because it starts on 10/10. And now there's also an optional extra credit section. These are things that I designed specifically for those who already have the course and they're in there waiting for it to begin. They can do these few options to add them to their codex as well. And then week 1, you can see it over on the side here, but I can't click on it because there's nothing on there yet, but this is where the lessons will be. And then I also have pages of symbols. Since this is like a handwritten journal, or I mean, you could obviously do it the other ways as well, but if you do the handwritten journal, you're encouraged to have a journal on hand either way to doodle in. Anyway, these are like blueprint coded symbols that you could trace in there, or you could make into your own. I know people like to doodle in their journals, so trying to help you out if you are as bad at doodling as I am. And then there's also classroom tools. There's a suggestion box. There's also a question form for current students. And there's also at the end a graduation form that you fill out, and then you get sent a diploma. So that is the Codex. Let's see if I can get back to the homepage. That is the Codex, the Blueprint Codex. It is based on the Blueprint trilogy, broken down in a teachable format, but you're not learning necessarily the books, you're learning yourself through the blueprint of the books. So for those who are wondering what it is, that is what it is. There's an intro price available until 10/10. That is the initial group that's going through and being updated weekly as I do it. So you'll essentially watch me change in real time as I go through the same thing that I'm having you do, because I would never ask anyone to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. So that's why I'm taking this approach with it, and we can build it together. And yeah, you do not need to get it. This is literally just available for those who would like to have it. This is not necessary at all whatsoever, but they're not approved yet. But once they are, this is a blueprint themed Blueprint Codex hard and paperback copy. It is graph paper. I suggest using a graph paper book for this. I feel like that gives the most creative expression. That way there's lines you can follow if you want to write. There's boxes that are there if you want to fill them in. It's, more drawing friendly, I guess you would say. So this entire book is just graph paper. That's all it is. There's nothing in there. The prompts aren't in there because I didn't want to dictate how much space to give anyone for anything. So this book is literally 333 pages of graph paper. You do not need it, but it will also be available by 10/10, probably within the next couple days. And since this first course is a thing that I'm doing with you, I'm going to be creating an art piece as we go. I did advertise in the email that one person was going to win, but as I was looking through my office, I had one black and one white, so there's going to be 2 people that win. I'm going to create 2 art pieces as we go throughout the course, and if you are entered by 10/10, then you're going to be eligible to win one of the canvases. Basically a little side project that I'm going to be making. I will be showing you me making this in real time as I make it, so you'll get to watch the creation of it, and then at the end at our graduation, 2 people will win the canvases. So that is part of it as well.